I want to say something. I might get in trouble for this. In my experience, some of the worst real estate transactions that I've had have been with people that use this model. Hello, In the House podcast listeners. My name is Tony Singh.
And I'm Jenny Woon.
Thank you so much for spending time with us and joining us today and all of the other episodes that you guys have supported us for along the way.
We love you all.
Today's episode is about teams, top 3 team models, hiring splits, and lead generation.
What led me to wanting to talk about this topic is because my brokerage is currently on the hunt to matchmake everybody. So we actually put out a little survey.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to be wanting to add to a team, add a team member, or if you're looking for a team.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a good idea.
It's actually the brokerage is putting people together. Yeah, so it's
You're a
kind of cool.
matchmaker, real estate matchmaking heaven.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no right or wrong way to essentially structure your team, right? But we're highlighting the 3 most common methods and models based on your survey and also out there in real-time real estate industry.
Mm-hmm.
And before deciding which real estate team model works best for you, you have to understand each one in a variety of areas.
Yes. The reason why is because there are so many financial risks involved. You're investing in one another, not just the agent, the team lead investing in the agent, but the agent's also investing their time and contributing to the growth and the wealth of the team lead.
Mm-hmm.
There's also different values that you have to really consider that may potentially have different outcomes. And so that's why there's many different team models, but these are the 3 that kind of stuck with me and as well that I often seen in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And also I want to add, not every top producer or solo agent is meant to be a manager or a team lead.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you can be a great top producer and someone who's a great business owner, but you may not know how to manage people and personalities.
Yeah, it's a totally different skill set.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can also develop the skills. Like you can take coaching classes, you can take coaching programs, read books on what makes a good synergy, what adds synergy to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say that, some people are just great with other, working with other people, and some are just better as solo agents.
Yeah, and some top producers don't want to be a leader.
They don't.
They don't want to lead people. They're just, they're very efficient, lean and mean with maybe an unlicensed assistant producing, and that's their priority.
Yeah, and we see that a lot in our industry. I wanted to also mention that there are so many times I have seen teams break up more than they've stayed together for a long time.
What percentage would you say? Because I've noticed that a lot as well over my career.
Well, okay, there's a difference. So there's teams where you register with the board in your district.
Yeah.
Then there's partnerships where maybe you're just kind of covering for each other, but you're not really advertising yourself as a team.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, let's just say it's a divorce rate. It's equal to a divorce rate, which is more than 50%.
I mean, but do you think that, I would imagine the reason why it's so high is because the expectations are not laid out ahead of time, right?
Absolutely.
On both ends.
Yeah.
So expectations in terms of energy required for the job on both ends, communication style, maybe the inner work too. If you've got a team lead that is not aware when they're getting in the way, that's problematic. The financial stuff that we talked about, and also future planning.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And expectations.
So, Tony, you lead, you're a fantastic mentor, and I look up to you.
You're biased.
So
Thank you.
much. I want to know, what is your model at Bel Air?
So mine is newer though, and it might evolve as time goes on. I'll preface it with that. My model is more of a mentor-mentee model at the moment. The objective of that is to teach my new agents how to fish.
Okay.
And it is a cliche, but I've used this example before. Yeah. Better to teach them how to fish so they can fend for themselves and grow rather than just, here's here's the fish.
I love that.
And you're going to drown or you're not going to be able to eat next month.
Yeah.
So we focus a lot on, lead generation, knowledge and experience, not just even getting new business, but contracts. How to
write
protect
contracts?
how to protect yourself and your clients. And we actually in the office just went over a bunch of clauses the other day. Segueing for a second. You know the normal clauses that are in web forms?
Mm-hmm.
They're very broad, right?
Yep.
So we have specific clauses in different scenarios that provide our clients with more protection.
Oh, good.
And the reason why I would prefer that people at our brokerage use our clauses is because it is about that service to the clients, the protection of the client, making sure that you have their best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, what's out there as a general rule doesn't provide that safety.
Mm. So, sorry, and before we get back to this model that you're on at the moment, did you seek lawyers' help to write these clauses because they're not the norm?
Initially, no. We were coming up with scenarios in negotiations where, like, for example, I'll give an example. Did you know that if you're using a subject to sale clause and you're the buyer's agent, and then you have to list your client's place, right? But those subject to sale clauses do not provide for a very specific scenario where you could actually leave your client homeless. Like, actually, it's a very small percentage, and that clause does not provide for it.
Okay. So let's do another episode about clauses.
Separate.
Yeah. So I want to go back to mentor-mentee model with your business practice here.
We also look at strategic planning, setting out their goals for the year in business and in life, because everything needs to complement one another, right? You and I have already done the burnout thing. It's very important to me that if you got a new licensee, they are aware that there is a different way to do things where they're having a bit more balance, or call it prioritization, without getting burnt out.
Right.
Yeah. And so some of these other additional skills could be, how to host an open house effectively. But mostly it is how they would be able to get their own clients and then service these clients properly.
So learning to fish, learning to hunt.
Learning to hunt is a good one for sure.
Okay. And so another question then, you are obviously helping them to fish and hunt. Are you keeping the leads to yourself and then you're pushing it out, or you're just automatic and then you're getting a kickback? Or are you
this is a good question
to manage?
It's actually a little bit of all of the above. So sometimes it could be just a personality match, because there's something to be said for that too, right? Not every client's going to work well with a specific member on your team. Sometimes it's that where obviously I believe in paying for good service. You know that's one of my things too. Even for administration, I will pay more than minimum wage over and above that for really good quality work. And the same is to be said of the splits that I offer. But when we first bring a new team member on, when they're training, the split is typically a lot lower, obviously, because they don't know what they're doing. And so part of the process is making sure that they develop the skills, knowledge, and the proper practices in order to be able to service existing clients properly and the leads that are coming in.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing, Tony, right now is that you're not registered as a team. However, you're bringing in agents to help them learn how to fish. Okay. So now what does that split look like, if you're okay to share that?
Yeah, I'm okay. And also we will be registering as a team separately, because I'm seeing that, like, for example, I'll just be very honest. I'm getting I love being client facing, and I'm finding that I'm getting so much fulfillment from seeing other people succeed. And therefore it's just easier than to probably create my own team. That'll be in the works as a registered team in the next few months, I believe.
That means that we need an episode on hiring. Okay.
Yeah, but we're operating properly now under BCFSA. So let me be clear if you're listening.
Okay. No, that wasn't what I was trying to allude to, to catch you on that. Okay.
So I've been told that this is too high. And quite frankly, I don't care, because again, I want the new members coming in to feel invested. Like, they need to feel that gratification of, like, if they're putting in the work, then you're getting paid for something. And the intangibles of learning about this industry from a seasoned person that's been in it and experienced many things, that's an invaluable set of knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's 15%. And no, actually, I should be more clear. So it's also in relation to what phase of their training that they're at. Like, let's say, for example, it was a brand new person. They have no idea what they're doing at all. Sometimes they will start by shadowing.
Okay.
This could be even before they're licensed. So they have to sign an agreement, right? There's private information and everything there. But if you're a new licensee, and let's say, for example, I give you a buyer lead, I'm helping them along the journey, but they're getting 15%.
They're getting 15%.
Yeah.
You take the 85%.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously if someone is saying that's too high, to me, that means that they are not valuing their business and mentorship, right? So,
well, the goal is not to keep somebody at 15% either. It's kind of, if you're going to be learning more and you're capable and you are able to make sure clients' interests are looked after properly, then we bump up to 35%.
Okay.
Right away, like as soon as they are capable.
Okay. So like, would you say, I know it's obviously a degree of like how fast a person learns.
Yeah.
On average, have you found it to be more like 6 months or 3 months or 1 year?
Yeah. So it's based on two things. It's either so at the outset, we set goals. So for example, if the goal is for the agent to do, like, let's just say 6 deals on their own, it's 6 deals on their own, or at the end of the first year, because it takes time to train people too, right? Whatever comes first.
Gotcha.
So they get bumped up. Like, it's based on their ability to also do the work, right?
Right. Okay.
It's incentive based.
And so what about the marketing cost? So you get the lead, you obviously paid to get that lead. What are the costs that are out of your pocket versus the cost that's out of the pocket for the mentee or the agent?
So when we first started with this and we were kind of piloting it, it was a split. Like, I wasn't actually going to cover all of the expenses. But honestly, I am now. Like, I just kind of decided that most new agents that come in, they don't necessarily have a budget for that and they're trying to survive. So I think that for some people, it takes that additional stress off of them. Like, yeah, they've got skin in the game still, but I'm covering the marketing for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so I guess what my question would be, are they reaching out to you 24/7? Or
No.
do you actually have like set schedules on meetings? I know that you and I were speaking with another agent that we both mutually love and respect in the business, and they're having, they want to take on a different level of passive income by removing themselves from the day-to-day real estate transactions.
Yes.
And so I understand that this person is kind of wavering on maybe lowering their kind of splits that they want to take away from the agent. That way they're kind of freeing the agent to be on their own,
Totally.
not be as much of a mentor.
So you had asked about like splits, and I said 15 to 30 and then up to 35%. I'm very aware right now that, like I mentioned, I am restructuring things right now because I think that real estate can be very lucrative. I've loved dealing with clients directly, and I still love that and will continue to do so. However, I'm also kind of looking at succession planning for the future. I'm not leaving anytime soon, but the goal would be to, if it's the right team member, eventually to bump them up like continually and take a step back. But I would only do so knowing that they were the right person to take over the business and service our existing clients properly. I feel like it's a responsibility factor. So to your point about our mutual friend, I really highly regard this person, and I appreciate what this person is doing because it's aligned with their vision for what they want for their life, right? And so I don't think there's anything wrong with, I think it has to work for you. So there's different things that could happen even with this model. And if your intention is to be less involved in the day-to-day, then yeah, and your agents are capable and well-trained, then of course they should be making more money and the splits would have to change, I think.
So in this scenario, what you're doing, who would be, besides you, who would be best to take on this type of a mentee mentor model? Who, I guess someone who doesn't really
If
want
you're the mentee?
if Well, if you're the mentor as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for me as a mentor, what I'd be looking for is the thirst for knowledge, the ability to learn. I also am not a huge fan of egos. Like in order to expand and provide people, this is a service-based business, provide clients with that service, the ego needs to be in check. And we all go through that, right? But more so than that, I'm looking for integrity. I'm looking for quality of work. I would never sacrifice those things. And so that's what I would look for if I was going to mentor somebody. Efficiency and effectiveness for sure. And then I think if you're a mentee, you could be a right fit for this particular model. I mean, other people might have other core values, right? So it could change. But I think if you are somebody that wants to be in this business long term and you want to learn the right way to do things with the proper skills, I think that that's a good fit.
Yeah. Agree. Okay. Let's go on to our second model, which is the team leader model, which is my business.
So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions now. Okay. Oh, and actually we should say what this is. So team leader model is centered around actively promoting the team leader or their brand. This traditional real estate team structure often focuses its efforts behind a neighborhood or community.
Yes.
And I guess before we get into structure, Jenny, as the team leader, like why did you pick that model and what's important to you about it?
What was really important to me was allowing the agents on my team to have a sense of autonomy, but also come together as one bigger holistic brand. And I intentionally didn't name my team Jenny Woon and Associates or Jenny Woon Group with my name in it. There is a story behind how I named West One, which back in the episodes you would have know how I named it. But the reason why you can see on our feed that every agent is highlighted equally in doing what they love and doing what they're good at. And I feel like every agent wants to have some sort of individualistic like qualities in their own business, but still come together as a group, as a team, because we don't want to work alone in this business. So I feel like we're creating a great, substantial brand that's credible and reputable, but at the same time, we're kind of focused on really farming and hunting like the Burnaby area and beyond. So because our agents have different, like they live in different areas, they have different personalities, I think we've created a really good synergy within our team.
So how does, say more about how your current structure works?
Sure. So there's me as a team lead. I'm registered as the team leader for West One. Then there are 5 other agents. So we're all licensed. So there's a total of 6 of us, including me. I have a marketing director that's on salary. I have a content producer, a digital content producer who does primarily videos as well, that works full time.
Okay. And then how does it work in terms of splits and those kinds of things?
Sure. When I get a lead, I pass that lead on to the team. And the way I split it is based on how I know that lead and that agent will get along.
Okay, so you're personality matching a little bit too.
Personally matching, but also territory matching. So let's just say Nikki, she lives in Fairview area. So she's going to get maybe all the west side, downtown leads. And then I have, let's just say Samantha, she lives in Poco. So she'll get all my Tri-City leads.
Okay.
So that's also very, area centric. I would say for the splits, so if I'm passing a lead on to them, it's 50-50. So I paid for the cost of getting the lead, and it doesn't matter really where they came from, whether it be a referral, whether it became online. It's a 50-50 split. If it's a lead that that it's my listing, but they're the runner, they're doing all the showings and they're doing, essentially I kind of do the negotiations, but if they're just running around doing keys and showings, they get 25% of that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then vice versa, if it's their lead, but I'm doing all the marketing for it and doing all the videos and the photos, ordering all the strata documents, the signage, then I get 25%.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
I mean, there's different
75,
structures for different things.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then I guess like how do you maintain on your team, because you guys are all in different areas and everything, that sense of community?
How we come back together.
Yeah. I'm just curious because you just mentioned the geographical difference, but yeah.
I mean, for the listeners out there who are not from Vancouver, our area is not that big. Like we can probably reach each other within 10 minutes at a central point. Nowadays with WhatsApp, it's easy to get together. During COVID, we did Zoom. I would say it's actually by this time, since my team we've been together for a very long time, it's almost pulling teeth trying to get us all together.
Yeah, because you guys are too busy.
We're so busy, and we do a couple of team events every year.
So you spoke a little bit about lead generation, just like where the lead comes from kind of, but how does your lead generation system work? Like are these mostly past client referral leads, or are you using marketing, online SEO?
Yeah. So I would say it's really heavy on the referrals. And then I would also say that a portion of it is coming from the project marketing projects that we're doing.
Yeah.
So what happens is those leads come in, and maybe they've just developed a really good relationship with the customers that came into the office. From there, if they developed a really good relationship and that project doesn't work with them, then they may have developed a friendship or relationship outside of that.
So let's speak to on your team member. There's six, including you. How do you figure out the different services and expectations that you versus a team member would take on? And you as the team leader, what are you looking for in a person who's going to be joining your team or a prospective team member?
First and foremost is someone who is kind and generous, and who is, I don't want to say giving because it's a little bit it's not like charity work, but
Yeah.
I would say who is looking for the best interest of others.
Yeah.
So kindness in general. We all have each other's back. I would probably say that I don't have anyone on the team that I don't trust, of course. So being trustworthy, being available and reliant is one of the biggest things. And working in integrity is obviously both of our values, is knowing that we're doing the right thing because it's for the greater good.
Yeah, I love that. I think you already answered this, but just for clarity and everything. So you're handling all of the marketing expenses for your team, or are there different scenarios where they're covering a part of their listings or whatever it is?
Yeah. So the only thing that they're covering are their desk fees and their board fees, and as well as their client gifts. So the client gifts is so personal because they've been working and dealing with that transaction that they kind of manage all that. But the listing, like the photos, the videography, the postings, that split, it goes towards paying the salary of my team, right?
I see.
So that's where
it makes sense. It's like it's a business.
Yeah.
And then I guess my last question about this would be, or your team structure would be, let me think for a second. I'll gather my thoughts. Okay, so you asked me the question about, okay, what would a mentor look for versus a mentee? And I already asked you the question, what you would look for in a team member. But what would be important to an actual team member for joining your team? Like, what would that give them?
What would that give them? It'll give them a sense of support. People go on holidays, life challenges happen, and they know that they can call on us to take over wherever they left off with their client. So that's one thing I find, that if you're struggling to be a solo agent and you really do need help because there's things in life happen and you're going on vacation, we got your back.
Like peace of mind, and the business doesn't stop.
And I think as well, accountability. Like I've seen my team and even just agents at my office where I'm doing regular calls with an agent, and they're doing so well because they have a sense of like goals every week that they want to achieve. And so just checking in with that person, hey, how did that deal go? Just that communication, two-way communication is really important. So I'm checking in with my agents. How did that team go? How did that transaction go? Or did that assignment come together? And I think they like that they can come to me to just ask questions without feeling like they're bothering me.
Okay, so you do a weekly meeting as well?
I don't do weekly meetings, but there are some where I'm just checking in, like by WhatsApp.
Got it. I forgot to mention this when you were asking me questions. I do a weekly check-in, and then they also know that they can just call or message me whenever, because as things come up, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a third team structure that we were going to discuss today.
Yes, there is one out there that's quite popular.
Okay, so let's talk about that. One team lead and all the agents are under one with a salary only.
Right.
Okay, so we know quite a few agents who follow this model. Can you explain to our listeners a little bit more about how that works, what the splits are, who would be good candidates for this type of model?
Yeah. So what I've seen is the agents may particularly be the ones that are not the team lead are perhaps like part-time, or they don't want to deal with the business, like the CEO hat. They don't want to deal with the marketing. They don't want to figure out how to get the next lead. They don't want to deal with, maybe they don't even want to deal with the negotiations.
They just want to service.
They just want to service and show homes.
Yep.
And this model is when a team lead is shown on all the ads. Their name is on plastered everywhere. And then I've seen 30 to 50 names under this one team leader.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I mean by names is the agents. So they're all running around doing all the showings and signing all the documents, running around, picking up keys, opening up doors for inspections. In this sense, they never really have to try to figure out where to get the next paycheck, like how to get the next paycheck. So another thing that I want to mention in this particular model is they tend to be very high transactional because of the number of team agents that they have to kind of continuously feed, simply for the fact that because these agents are on salary. So they have to bank on the generating quite a number of transactions and volume per year.
Yeah.
So in terms of, what have you seen for splits in this model?
I don't know the exact numbers, but the realtors that I've spoken with that are not in the team lead position, they're the ones servicing everything. Some of the realtors that I've spoken with have actually said that they don't make a lot of money. And that's all relative, right? Because a lot of money, it depends on what your monthly expenses are. But
like new brokerages that have opened up in the last 12 months have already shut down with this model.
Yeah, because it's really tough. Like I think in this model, the only person that really makes money is the team lead.
Right.
I want to say something.
Say it.
I might get in trouble for this, but you guys know I'm like, that's why I'm being quiet right now. Honestly, in my experience, and this could just be my experience, some of the worst real estate transactions that I've had have been with people that use this model.
And so can you give a scenario, like you were dealing with the showing agent or the team lead?
No, the showing agent. I actually never spoke to the team lead at all. So it was like the showing agents who don't have a lot of experience don't really know. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are amazing. Let's be clear. But unfortunately, in a lot of the cases, they don't have a lot of experience, and therefore the transaction doesn't go as smoothly because nobody's leading them.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's true. There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Not even,
I don't know if it's lack of accountability either.
Yeah,
though. That's what I want to say.
Lack of training.
That's what I think, and I think that everyone's intentions are good, but it just doesn't come out that way during the real estate transaction, which is unfortunate.
And do you think it's because that not hiring the right talent? These runners, I want to say, or these showing agents, they're not passionate about the real estate.
I think that some of them, and again, I just had an experience with a different realtor, who was amazing. She was a runner, but she was very good at what she was doing, and she was very quick to get answers, those kinds of things. But what I think it is that if you're not hiring the right fit, this person's just worried about their paycheck. And therefore, they're not worried about quality of work, communication, those kinds of things. So they're not in it for the longevity of the business. And I think there could be quality control issues.
Okay, so going back to they're not making a lot of money.
Have you heard that before? I've heard that a lot.
I don't really know, but I want to say if I was to just do a quick calculation in my head, maybe they're making 50 to 75,000 a year.
Yeah, I think even less in some scenarios.
So it could be less. Maybe they're just getting a small percentage, like 5% per door, or a flat fee per door per closing. And that doesn't, to me, that's not really motivating.
Well, it's a different mindset though, right? Because if you're wanting that for salary, doing it yourself is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
So
yeah.
which model, who is best for this model? Somebody who does not want to brand themselves, who doesn't want to deal with personal branding, who doesn't want to chase the next
They don't want to cover their
it-
expenses either.
right,
Yeah.
right. So, and I would say for the team lead, it's maybe a bit of a higher startup capital because you're doing the training and then you're covering everybody's cost, and you're making sure that they are going to be like a person who but basically hustles.
For sure.
Right. So yeah, those are the top 3 team models that I think are out there at the moment. I'm sure there's many, many more, but for me, that's what I've seen in Vancouver.
Yes.
Right. And if you guys have any other tips or have any questions that you want to ask us about team leadership, about structuring, about splits and lead gen, be sure to reach out to us. And for any platforms that you're listening to, give us 5 stars and hit the subscribe button. Till next week.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.